Hi everyone, my name is Megan Caraher and I'm originally from Central Massachusetts, but I moved to Cape Cod about a year and a half ago. This is my third class in my Master's in EdTech program, and I'm taking it because my goal is to become a technology coach one day or work in the technology department for a school district, or even lately, I've been thinking about potentially helping develop online courses one day. As far as my professional experience goes, I've worked in a few school districts throughout central Massachusetts and Cape Cod. I've worked in a lot of different capacities in schools, like a paraprofessional. I worked as a fourth grade teacher for a couple years, and then this year I started a new job as a reading interventionist, and I also work at an after school program at a small private school. So, when I was doing all of the readings this week, I hadn't really heard of the innovator's mindset before, but I did understand it a little bit more clearly when George Kiros talked about how it was kind of like an elevated version of a growth mindset. That made sense to me because a lot of the schools I've worked at use growth mindset and they talk about that a lot. And they talk about how with that you're trying to make things better and asking a lot of questions, and that's kind of why people typically associate technology with innovation, even though Kiro says that the two aren't necessarily synonymous. So I consider myself fortunate because in this class we kind of get the perspective of an innovator from a teacher's perspective and from the perspective of a learner. I think that all of the methods of communication and collaboration that we have make innovation a lot easier for students at all levels, whether it's the elementary school age students that I teach or in higher education like we are in this class, because now obviously we have Zoom and Google Meets, which allows students to talk to each other and create and collaborate with each other, even though they are not necessarily in the same physical space. We also have things like Google Docs and Google Slides, where students can give feedback to each other and they can collaborate on projects together, again, even if they're not in the same physical space as each other. And we can also we have the power to share work with a larger audience through like social media and different things like that. So I definitely think that makes innovation a lot easier. Right now in my work as a reading interventionist, I don't really use a lot of technology with my students, and that just kind of has to do with the way our curriculum's designed, and I wish that I was able to use more technology with them. So when I think about how I can be an innovator in my current role, something that I've kind of thought about is the fact that myself and the other reading interventionists do a lot of work with close reading with our students. So going back to Kuros, something he talks a lot about is asking questions and how we can improve our practice and stuff like that. So kind of like a natural question that I have that I think could lead me to be a bit more of an innovator in my role is how I can improve my students' ability to be a close reader and how I can make it more engaging for them. And one of the initial thoughts that I had when I thought about this was how my students, I could get them to use Jamboard to collaborate and use that to facilitate some of the discussions we have about the stories we read. And I think in the long run, this could help my students learn how to annotate texts on a deeper level. And I know that innovation is necessary for students to solve problems and make connections between ideas and concepts and kind of become more independent thinkers.